prerequisites. There are some methods of learning, so I would like to share as many as I possibly can. It doesn't mean that you need to learn them all, but you should try them at least and see which one is actually best for you. Once you have it, then stick with the one that works with your body for now, and then don't forget to come back to this video and continue to explore the different methods of doing swipes. When it comes to the swipe, we want to know that we're in somewhat of a modified tabletop position. We want to have one hand, feet flat, and up. Okay? You're going to be here. Gravity is constantly pushing you down throughout this move, so the hardest part of this move is understanding to stay up here. Now, in the beginning, this might cost you, but after that, it'll be really easy. Okay? So, once again, you're here and hold on to that. What I'm going to show you now is the swipe in a linear form, meaning side to side. Okay? As it is probably the easiest way to learn. It doesn't mean that you have the full swipe, but you get the concept and you get to learn how to travel with it. I find this to be a lot easier for beginners. And then within the same class, we talk about rotation. So right now, linear or even in the same place. My feet are up. I'm going to swing and place my hand down. I'm going to flip around and land back on my feet. Now, you do not land sideways or funky. You land exactly the same way. Flat-footed or even on the balls of your feet is fine to lessen the impact, okay? So it goes. Put your hand down in a line, and then up in the air, and land. Right back to where I was on the opposite hand, okay? Now I'm gonna just flip back over the opposite way, just so that I have it. I'm as high as I can. I rotate, put my hand down in the line, and twist, trying to stay up as high as I can. So I'm here, hips are up. And in the initial one is the only time that I can say you can start down, because you're gonna push up anyways, right? You're not gonna be able to get it through like this. So you're gonna generate energy and go up. Once you're up, stay up. So here and here, here. I go back the other way and here, here, boom. Now moving on to circles. Right? The circular pattern, which is the real power move. Basically, moving side to side is like a trick. You just want to have that little trick, and it helps teach you. But going in a circle is the real deal. So what you want to do is, if you're in this one-handed tabletop, we're going to learn to transfer our weight. In this position, I'm going to shift my weight towards my legs, allowing me to be able to shift easier. So there's a karate chop happening here. I'm feeling it from the armpit, from the tricep, and the lats, right? I cut across, I lean forward, and I cut across. So lean forward and cut across. Okay? Placing my hand down across my hip, I'm going to just walk my leg over behind me. One more time from here. You're going to feel that karate chop. Lean forward, karate chop, across the waist. It's really important, across the waist. Reach outward, and almost replace that hand. Okay? Once that's all good, we're going to start adding some energy to it. We're going to add that little flip there, okay? So if you've done the two-step, like we did in our footwork program, you should have no problem with this at all. But if for some reason you decided to skip the two-step in our footwork segment, which I wish that you didn't, this is going to be for you. We're going to add a little bit of a twist, similar to the two-step. Going to lean forward, hips are up, squeezing the glutes. There. And when I'm going to reach out, that's when the flip happens. So reaching out. When this part happens here, reaching out, I'm going to switch and go over. When I send this leg out, and it goes. I'll do a few, just like how we normally do. Here's a quick recap, and it goes. 1, 2, switch. Switch. Now, instead of landing in this footwork position, obviously we're modifying it and landing like that. Okay, so a few points before we move on. When you're going from one swipe into the second swipe, there's a few things to think about. One, you don't want to just give up all your energy because you landed. It'll be really difficult to come back up and generate energy and go back down. You're actually wasting energy. So something that I would suggest is brace yourself for the impact. Meaning that you want to tighten up, understand that you are going to impact, try to land on the balls of your feet and then roll down for now. There is a huge debate about how to do it. Some people like to go flat, some people like to go on the balls of their feet. I'm going to just go ahead and say practice both so that you master it all. I can do both styles. I learned flat-footed first, and then later on came to realize that the benefits of landing on the balls of your feet extend when you're trying to do bigger moves. So something else to keep in mind. So once you're about to land for the second one, you gotta already think about the next one. So don't just land and go, then go. You wanna just land, lock it in, and keep it moving, okay? So the best way that I can explain that is, if we're here, I gotta go down and up, down and up, down and up. It's a lot better to just maintain this tight region here, right? I don't wanna have to go down and waste that energy. Just stay up top, stay tight, squeezing the glutes, locking in with the abdomen, and going, bam, bam, not, you can see it's not efficient. Here, it takes some athleticism, right? Musculature, but once you get it, it's efficient and your speed will pick up. And once your speed picks up, then the move becomes even easier because you're kind of riding off the momentum and speed. So the next way that we're going to introduce the swipe is going to be from our footwork. Just like how it was back in the day, we will continue to do it today. So I'm going to do half of a 6-step, which I'm sure you've already learned. Or footwork, just to get me to the front part. So I'm going to generate energy, and when I get to the front part, I'm going to throw a front sweep. That front sweep is going to be super powerful, enough to get me to go up in the air, flip my feet, and land in a swipe position. We're not focusing on doing multiple swipes just yet. We're showing where the energy comes from, or where you can collect energy if from a standstill is very difficult for you. So let's begin. We're in our back position. I'm going to work my way to the front. So boom, 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 front sweep, and out. Okay, one more time, let's do it again. Here, go. All right, now that you have that down pat, which you should, we're going to talk about crossing over the fence method, okay? So for this method, it's very simple. You're going to place one leg up, or if you want, you can start down on the floor and just learn to hop over and turn, putting you into the swipe position. I'll go back the other way just to save time. Put the foot out, so that's our imaginary fence, all right? Hop over and twist, hop over and twist. Notice how I landed parallel and my hips are up, okay? Try your best. Once you get that going, you're going to do the hop over, right? You're literally gonna hop over now. So now I'm placing it up high and I'm generating energy and I'm gonna cross over. So I'm karate chopping and I'm bringing the leg over at the same time. So boom and twist. Okay? From the side, out, jump over the fence. Jump over and twist. Okay? Let's try that again. But this time, we're not going to land our foot facing down just to work on rotation. We're going to rotate all the way and face forward again. So I'm here and there. Facing forward. Okay? So there you have it. Both methods, balls of your feet, twist, or rotate all the way, flat. You can land on the balls of your feet as well, but the key here, the takeaway is the rotation to get you there. Causing that energy, that turbine inside, to get you to go to the other side. All right? So once you can get this established, we go back to the linear. Okay? We're going to revert back to the linear as we're going to now break into the famous one leg. Okay? So swipes with one leg, and then we'll put it all together. So for now, I suggest that you start with two legs, and as you rotate over, you're going to create your imaginary fence, and that becomes a leg that stays in the air the whole time. Okay? So it's going to be a lot harder to generate energy from nothing, but once you can do this, I assure you, doing it from momentum is going to be a way easier feeling. So might as well train the harder stuff now so that everything else is really easy and basic for you. Here we go, and hop over, land on one. Training for the one leg swipe. We're going to revert back to the line, in a line formation, right, back to basics. But what we're going to focus on here is, if I'm going to cross over, my right hand takes over all the weight, and my left leg is going to be in the air, okay? So for right now, all we're doing is generating energy from two, landing on one. So it goes here and there. Now that you see where we're going with this, we're going to come back to our footwork, front sweep, but this time we're going to land in a one-legged swipe and continue. Nice and low at first. We'll start teaching you rotation and it'll get you into the place to be. Okay, so now we're going to talk about different entrances that you can use in order to get into the swipes. Now, my suggestions to you are start with two legs and then start modifying it to the one leg. The one leg is obviously the master swipe position, in which it'll be the most efficient, less surface space on the floor, and it'll help you translate over to different power moves. So for right now, we're not going to get too involved in what else you can get into, but just know this, you can do everything and anything from the swipe. It can save a round. If you're slipping from air power or something like that, you can always land in a swipe position. It's a great, great recovery move without anybody even knowing that you're recovering. And it's also an amazing move to learn as well. So let's get to it. The first one is going to be from the power prep position. So we come from our top rock position. We open up. And as we turn the hand, we're shifting our body in that big jar type of feel, just like how we did with our windmills, right? So We generate our energy, pretending like we're coming from another power move. And we're gonna just put our hands on the floor, swing our hips all the way, and I should land right towards the camera. So turning my hand and hit. Landing right into position. Top rock, open into the power breath, and land. From there, practice switching, and then you'll get that going. So for now, let's just do with 2 legs, and then feel comfortable, open up with 1 leg. Always want to start with this power move entrance before we get into the master swipe or the top swipe, which is, as I know it, the top swipe.